Alright, welcome back guys. So today we're actually going to take a break from the Fox. We're actually going to go over to Wayne's house and I'm going to help him install a fuel system in another Coyote swap car that I'm helping him on. It's the exact same fuel system I got in my car. So kind of like show you guys exactly what I'm running, how easy it is to swap into a Fox. So gonna head over there, check it out, maybe just run a couple lines for them and show you guys what it's all about. Catch y'all there. Alright, so we're over here at Wayne's and I got the fuel system right in front of me. We're going with the Quantum Fuel Labs setup with all Phoenix Industries hoses and fittings. So this is actually a really nice kit. It's all pre-cut with all the fittings already done. Everything is nicely labeled. It even has the adapter to go from the push to lock fitting to AN adapter for the stock fuel rail. And then of course you get your filter, get the necessary fittings for the regulator. Also a really nice piece. It even comes with a nice gauge that you can put on there. That way you can dial in your fuel pressure. And then also for the pump, it comes with a 340 liter per hour pump, so perfect for an NA build, E85 compatible. And the hanger, it mimics a stock Fox body hanger, but it's been converted with a little bit larger diameter line, so that'll help with making more power, and then also converted over to AN fittings. So I'm gonna try and go ahead and get the pump into the tank. Since Wayne isn't home, I'm just gonna help him out and maybe start running a couple of these lines into the engine bay. This is the car. Believe it's an 89. Already has a Gen 1 Mustang motor in there with Cook's long tubes, super nice, and a Maximum Motorsports K member. The right way to do it. So, gonna go ahead and get to it. Okay, so now I have the return and inlet fuel lines in. It's 8 AN going in, 6 return. I got them mocked in for now, so this probably isn't going to be the final resting place, so that's why I'm using zip ties. So that way I can kind of hold them. Meanwhile, I route these, and then once I'm done routing these, I can actually pull them back, tighten them, and actually put them in the correct place. But for now, these will be as like little placeholders until we can get some P-clamps and actually mount them up properly. But at least this way, it'll keep them from wanting to pull weird ways and just drag on the ground. So it's not the final product, but it'll help for now. So here you can also see where the filter actually ends up. It'll actually end up in the factory location. So you just gotta probably put a smaller one of these, smaller hose clamp, tighten it down, and it'll hold it just fine. And also make it pretty easy to service in the future. And of course, here you see the 2 lines to the hangers. Nice easy day. And yeah, so next I'm gonna probably lower the car back down, try and at least loosely bolt this up. So I'm not snugging anything down yet. I'm only hand tightening it. And once everything is kind of like in its place, then I'll start going and putting a wrench on everything and get everything kind of like finalized. But I did my best to run them kind of like where the stock fuel lines used to run. So I used to run through here. This would be a perfect place to put some modified style of the factory clamp. Then they run along the side, of course, behind the brake line. And then they go up through the front. And then after that, I gotta get the fuel pump in the tank. It replaces the stock one. It almost looks exactly like the stock one, just slightly better. And then finish putting on the gauge for the regulator. All right. Okay, so got the inlet and return lines hooked up, and also the one that goes to the fuel rail. Got all that nicely hooked up. Probably gonna end up going about yay. May have to make a small bracket to hold the regulator, but right there, almost fitting like the stock fuel lines. Except now it goes to a regulator. Shouldn't look too bad. We'll see if maybe in the future we may have to relocate it somewhere else. But for now, it looks like there might be the place where it's gonna sit. And there you can kind of see how the fuel lines sit. Of course, if you got a black one of these, you could hide this line a lot better. Or if you have like a higher rise intake, it'll help hide it. But I think for now, I think that looks pretty good. So we're just gonna leave it like this. Kind of probably put a zip tie. That way it kind of like holds its place and kind of gives us an idea of how it's gonna look. And hopefully it doesn't give us too much trouble. Now next, let's install the fuel pump. Alright, so here we got our stock fuel tank with the stock wiring. I'm gonna have to get this cleaned up, get all this gunk off before I can pop this tank, because it is full of fuel. Last thing I want is a bunch of, you know, grime getting in the tank and clogging up the new filter. So I'm gonna clean this up, get it ready for the new pump, and yeah, so see y'all after I get all this gunk off. Alright, got it cleaned up best I could. Some of this gunk is really on there. So this little locking ring, all you gotta do is just knock on these tabs with maybe like a small pry bar or a chisel and a hammer. Just knock it out, and then you can pull the pump out. So I'm gonna take care of this real quick, get the new one installed, and I'll see you all then. Okay, here's a nice side-by-side comparison. You can just look at the hose size. That's actually the inlet, and this is actually the return. Here's inlet versus inlet. So go from those tiny little anemic lines to something a little bit more beefy. So overall, just a better unit, and this is E85 compatible. So we're gonna go ahead and drop this in, get it all set, and the pump is in, and it even reuses the stock wiring. Just gotta plug it in just like that. Then you just plug it in like normal to your car. It'll function just right. So even for a stock Fox body that isn't even getting coyote swap, this is actually a really nice fuel system. So there you go. Here you have your out and return. So Just gotta hook these up once we get the tank in the car. Right now I'm not gonna install it because I don't have a second hand to help me out, because it is full and it's kind of heavy, so I don't want to drop it. So for now, at least you guys got to see how the fuel system kind of looks in the car, and hopefully it gives you an idea how to install it once you go to do your Coyote swap, or even just if you're just installing these fuel lines. All right, well, take it easy guys, catch you on the next one. Later.